Hello guys, this is Paulo from Brazil. I'm here to talk about the Orange Pi 3 LTS, the single board computer that's available on AliExpress. I was looking for a single board computer and I saw this model on AliExpress and it was with a good price, and I've looked for some information on YouTube and I haven't found anything, absolutely no video about this board, the Orange Pi 3 LTS. This is even more powerful than the popular Orange Pi PC. As the price is very good, I purchased one to make some tests and make a project on it. So here's the box. It comes in a cardboard box, and I even marked here the number 3 LTS, and it has some differences to the board Orange Pi 3, and some physical differences and technical. Let's open the box. It was already opened, and this is a good package enough for this kind of material. It comes only with this small paper talking about the compliance things and rules, and let's see what it has. So this is the Orange Pi 3 LTS. Mine is version 1.4, as you can see here, and let's see what it has. Processor is all-winner H6 quad core and 64 bits and clock of 1.8 gigahertz. The GPU is a Mali T720 and it's compatible with DirectX 11. What's very interesting, we have 2 gigs of RAM, and this is shared with the GPU. And what's the most interesting thing here is that it comes with the embedded storage, eMMC of 8 gigs. We can burn the system here, and we can also use a micro SD card to run the operational system. It comes with Android 9 pre-installed on the eMMC, and you can use it for testing purposes or install packages using files apk and making the properly configuration. The Android that comes has absolutely no Play Store, so it will be very hard to make some applications to work. So let's see what are the connections of this board. Here in the front we have UART connection for debugging. We have a full-size HDMI output, and we have a microphone embedded here, and also a video component output that comes with audio. It works properly. It's an analog port. And in the next size we have 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 gigabit LAN Ethernet port, and 1 USB 2.0 port. On the other side we have infrared receiver that can be very useful for a project like a TV box or something else that requires a remote control. We have an antenna for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You can disassemble and remove this as needed. We have a GPIO connector of 26 pins. You can see this is smaller than the standard that we are used to see on Raspberries that are with 40 pins. So in this 26 pins, still they are compatible with the original Raspberry, and the pinout of 5 volts, 3 volts, ground are the same position, so you can share some peripherals that are used on Raspberry. In this border we have USB Type-C port. This is only for power purposes. It will not work as an OTG port. And we have also two LEDs. The red LED works for when you boot the system. It will just light on the booting. And green LED, and this works while the system is running. And we have here a power button. This is very useful on Orange Pi 3 LTS. If you turn the board off through the system, you can turn on without removing it from the power plug. And also on Android, I found out that this works exactly like the power button of the cell phone, where you press it once to turn the screen off, and if you want the screen to go back, you just press it again. Or if you want to turn off, you must hold the button, then the option of turn down or shut down appears on the screen, and then you click to shut down. And turning the board upside down, we can see here the micro SD card slot, and you can burn a new micro SD card with a system that you can download. We have some options available for this board, and it will boot first the content of the micro SD card. If there is no content for boot, or there is no micro SD card in the slot, it will boot the eMMC content. And for comparison, I brought here an Raspberry Pi 3 B+, and we can compare the size. We see they are very similar in the size, but the ports are in very different locations. So if you plan to use a case of Raspberry Pi, you would probably need to make some modifications on the case. I used a Raspberry Pi case, and I had to make two new holes for fixing the bolts, and of course for all these outputs and connections I had to make some fittings, but it worked fine for me. And the size of them being similar, we can share even cooling fans and heat sinks, and of course some peripherals that are using the GPIO pins. And for power supply, I used this smartphone charger. It's a turbo charger. It's a power adapter that is rated in 5 volts, 3 amperes, and this is enough and very good for this board, and it works very good. The cable that I use it's a USB-A to USB Type-C, and worked fine with the Orange Pi 3 LTS. If you have another type of charger, probably it will work, but if you're having problems with boot or with the performance of the Orange Pi 3, I recommend you to replace your power adapter. If you don't have a good power adapter, you can of course purchase the original one. It's a good price for this, and I recommend also purchasing this original purse. The specs for this board are very good. We know there's quad core, 1.8 gigahertz. It's a good clock, and it's even more powerful than Raspberry Pi 4. 2 gigs of memory will be enough for many applications. We have USB 3.0, and we have gigabit Ethernet, and so the specs are very good. But we also have to take in mind that on internet we don't find so much information about this board as we find for Raspberry Pi. Raspberry comes with lots of tutorials, and we have scripts, we have softwares, we have operational systems, complete platforms and many videos explaining how to work with it, but that's not happening with Orange Pi. The Orange Pi boards are very cheap. We get good prices on it, but we don't have the support that we have with Raspberry. So if you have a specific project that you want to use your Raspberry or use Orange Pi, and you know how to deal with Linux, and you can install your applications on Ubuntu or Debian, and you know how to make it work, and you know how to compile Linux, it will be good for you, and make a test with the Orange Pi 3 LTS. But if you plan to use a board for retro games, or even use it as a desktop computer, or to make fun projects and development of new things or learning, I sincerely recommend you to purchase Raspberry Pi because of the complete support they have on their boards. With Orange Pi, and specifically with Orange Pi 3 LTS, you will not find many things that are ready to download on internet. You have to develop yourself. I personally bought Orange Pi 3 LTS because I was curious about this. I would like to know how this worked, and I have a specific application for this board. That was a CFTV system that is currently running in my house, and this works well. It has a good performance. It runs the system that I've downloaded, and this board is enough for the purpose that I have to hit. So let's power on this board and check how it works. As you can see, when you boot, the red LED works and it will turn off, and then the green LED turn on, indicating that the system is running. And this Android system is running from the eMMC, and it's running in Full HD. This monitor is ultra wide, so this resolution is not supported. So we have this not in the full screen. If you plan to use this Android version, be careful, because the Play Store is not installed and it's not working here, and you have to download your applications and install manually. That can be risky, and this Android version comes absolutely with no support. You have to install everything and configure everything. It's very different from purchasing a smartphone that comes ready to work. To use Android, we can use our mouse, and we can see here how it performs. It's very basic. It has absolutely nothing interesting. You have to install anything if you want to use. Internet works fine, also for wireless, and we have languages that are useful for us. I highly recommend to install heatsink and cooling fan on this board, because it easily gets hot and the performance gets lower, and you're probably gonna use the performance of this board for your application. To turn the board off, you must hold the power button, and then the option to shut down will appear in the screen, and then you click it, and then the system will shut down. So this board is very good for some exact purposes. If we have intention to use it with a specific project, and also we have in mind how to do it and have all the conditions to make it work, the board will finally work as a computer, and the performance is good compared to other single board In my case, as I wanted a single board computer with 2 gigs of RAM at least, I found this model was good for me, and currently using the USB 3.0 and using the gigabit LAN Ethernet port, and also the 2 gigs of RAM are enough for this project that I'm currently using, and I highly recommend this board because of the price. It has a very good price compared to other boards and comparing to Raspberry. And if you need something like this, is a very good option. The bad point of this board is that we have no access to many applications and many software options, many OSs as we have on Raspberry Pi, and the options that we have are very poor, and the support is poor, and many bugs happen. Sometimes the Ethernet can't connect. We have other bugs that we hope that would be corrected, will be fixed in the next weeks. But we know that Orange Pi are not supported by their developers. They have a good price, but they are poor on this side. We also hope that people from Het or Orange Pi include this on their compilations, and this processor H6 will be very powerful for running some emulators like PS2 or Nintendo 64. We understand that this will be a good option for an emulator or a retro games console. Okay guys, this is everything that I would like to tell you, and if you liked this video, please click like and subscribe.